Good morning, Fort McMurray, with Buffalo and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I'm your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start today's episode off the same way we start every episode off, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, and the fact that you spend it with us truly does mean the world to me, so thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
Hey, it's Keith Simpson here. I'm the general manager of Norel Toyota, soon to be Fort McMurray Toyota. Pretty excited for our new dealership. We're here to take care of you. Come on down and be part of our family.
And we're back. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Norel Toyota. We really do appreciate your ongoing support. As everybody at home knows, I do not introduce my guests because they can do a better job at that than myself. So, sir, can you please tell everybody at home who you are and what you're about?
Well, I'm Hisham, serial entrepreneur, local in Fort Mac for the last 20 years. That's who I am.
Here we go. Okay, this is going to be very unorthodox because I know you and me were chatting about a project, and I figured we might as well just chat about it online.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we were chatting about like an AI service for voice.
Okay.
Okay, so let's hear about that and where we stand. Like, because it's very this area of service to me is just fascinating. So,
Well, first of all, thank you. I'm glad, I appreciate the opportunity, and it's always nice to connect with
always,
you.
bro.
So
Yep.
let's start with that.
Yeah.
Same as you started the show with the moment of gratitude.
Thank you.
So, actually, so as everybody knows, like the AI technology now is changing lots of things, changing the way we communicate for most, and we do things. And one of the areas that AI is doing good job at is answer and service. So now it gets to the level you get the calls that get answered by AI agent, and it gets confusing to a certain point. They're so good, like you have to it takes a minute to figure out that you're really talking to a machine, not an actual person.
So how it's just I was at the kids science fair, and I knew you were coming today, and I had this kid. He literally had a project on AI.
Okay.
And everybody thinks it's so easy, but he was programming it to go through a maze.
Okay.
And it took the program 6,000 tries to figure out how to go through a simple maze.
Okay.
So it's one of these things when you think about, like you and I were talking about, it picks up the phone. To train the AI agent to pick up the phone specifically for whomever the client may be is so challenging because you have to do so much work. I think when people hear AI and they use something like ChatGPT, they just think, it's so easy, but the work and the training behind to get it to that point is insanity.
Yeah, actually, and I couldn't agree with you more. Like people, they look at the surface and they say, yeah, ChatGPT and it works great, and which it does. But put it this way, I think it's about 85% in 2024, 2025, 85% of the AI projects, they failed. Simply because, first of all, since AI showed up and started to be everybody's talk, we say AI for really everything and anything, but that's not true. First thing is, as I'm a certified AI project manager, basically, first thing is to assess whether there is a need for AI or not. That's first thing. Then, of course, there will be the business case where you want to see how you're going to implement it, what it's going to do, what you want it to do for you, and for most, AI relies heavily on the data they have. So if you have clean data, and it needs lots of amount of data to be trained, and the training, that's something that goes over time, and it doesn't happen overnight for sure, and its improvement process takes time for it to be trained and to get to results that we need. So it's quite a process.
Yeah, a lot. And I like that. And thank you for sharing, and we're going to continue talking about that. But yeah, people online don't know how interesting and how much work it is. And I know you do so much behind the scenes that's hard to explain what you do. So I'm glad you're here today. We're going to try to explain all the cool, awesome things that you've been doing over the last few years here, man.
Well, actually, I will start on this. Actually, today before this interview, actually, I had the monthly the meeting with Alberta Technology Alberta members, and we had a conversation about cells and how they have to be human, like human involves, and there has to be two connections, and people that trust the people, like the so. And well, for me, my point in that conversation was, I do believe in the near future things that will change. So yes, human being interaction and one-to-one interaction and connections and all that, that will always be there, and that's essential part of what we do and how we do things. I wouldn't argue that, but I will argue the fact that now AI is gonna start to that introduction. We'll look for the prospects. So let's say, to put it in an easy way, straightforward way, my AI will communicate with your AI, they will interact, they will talk to each other, and if there is an interest and there is something that me and you work on, that's when we both will be notified and we'll finish the last 15 minutes of the conversation or the path, let's say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things are changing, and they will change in the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, I would say. They will change dramatically. But for today, there's lots of things that they're still on the make.
Yeah.
So with that being said, yes, I've been working, like trying to implement AI and actually I should say AI in one of my startups. Basically, my goal there is to remove 80% of the office need. That should be processed, and those tasks should be taken over by AI. And now that takes me to. There is a big question there. Would the office people will lose their jobs?
Yeah.
Would I lose my job? Would you lose your job? And that's everybody's concern. And the short answer to it is no. Nobody's going to lose their jobs, but people that will have their jobs will be different.
Correct.
So that 80% that the AI will take over and will just, let's say, and that could be as simple as answering the phone, scheduling. Let's say asking for a review, generating an invoice, putting the hours, like logging the hours for the workers, and then generating the payroll and so on, and all those office tasks. So now that 80% of that task is gonna at that time, that office admin, they can utilize it and use it for something else. So human being productivity and creativity for most, and capacity, capability, all those, they're gonna just increase in the next few years, and that would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be world right.
It's very bright. It's a very bright future, because I like how you explained it too. And the word that you kept going back to is task. It's just doing your tasks for you. It's not taking away your job.
Yeah.
It's just helping you do tasks that you don't want to do anyways. So like, let it do the task, and now you can focus more on what your actual job is. Because your job is not the amalgamation of tasks. And I think people get confused and they get scared when they, like you said, it's coming from a job. No, it's just coming for your tasks.
No,
just coming for your tasks.
Yeah. Actually, a cool way of, I mean, to me at least, a cool example that I use is, okay, so now, by having a car and going to Edmonton, that saves me walking time. It would take me days to walk to Edmonton, and that's what used to be the case when you look back, like 200 years ago or so, or different means of transportation. I mean, very basic one.
Yeah.
So I will spend all that time just to move from A to B. Right. So now by having a car, and when the car came around, like basically now I'm faster. So when I get to B, I can do more stuff.
Right.
Rather than using myself and my time and my energy, just walking or transporting.
Yeah.
So yes, same thing for AI. So
that's awesome. Well, anyways, Tanner's tapped his phone. That means we are out of time. But before I cut you loose, everybody gets a shameless shout out or plug. So you have the mic, the camera, the lights. Have fun.
Well, I want to thank Jay Falcon for, and I met Jay like I think 2017 or 18, I do believe around those years, and he was instructor, and he still have a course for financial literacy, and at that time I was like kind of my mid-career, like I had quite a few years in business, but of course after the fire and all that time, we came back and everybody's trying to, to reinvent themselves and to figure new ways to do things and to foremost improve. And at that time, particular time, I remember that's when I met Jay and I took his class, and that was financial literacy. Was lots of resources, lots of knowledge, and lots of things that he taught us in that class, and I want to thank him for that.
There we go. Awesome. Well, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, the rest of the world, that's been another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for tuning in. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Norel Toyota, as well as Carrie from Patchouli Rose and the beautiful people at Coldwell Banker. Hope everybody at home is having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.